What's going on YouTube? Playing African music, Ghanaian music to be exact. Today's title, you already saw it, you saw the thumbnail, so you clicked on this. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, just to help me out and get me going. Again, I appreciate you guys for the support. My subscribers are been going up, and I thank God for you guys for that, thank you. So today we're talking about the mental illness in African community. A subject that is not talked about, not because, it's not important, but a subject that is not thought of to talk about, right? So, I took some notes here so we can talk about this, right? And so we're gonna talk about the mental issues, like I said in the beginning, in the African household. Misunderstanding that goes on with the kids and the parents. Not showing love, affection, kind for the parents. Religion, we're gonna talk a little bit into that. And the men in our culture being stubborn to get help, whether it be psychological help, medical help, or whatever, right? So let's talk about mental issues, right? So one thing that I noticed growing up in an African household, right, both my parents and my mom, my father are from Ghana, right? And my other friends whose parents are from Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, wherever it may be, right? A lot of our parents growing up, right, they suffer, how do I put this? They suffer certain traumas, right, that they didn't handle, right? That's something I noticed. So it's like they suffered these traumas, they went through all these hardships, and all they know is just get back up and get out there into the world like nothing happened. It's supposed to happen to you, just deal with it, right? So now they grow up thinking that, when something happened to you, what's the point of thinking about it, right? What's the point of dwelling on it? It's money to be made, right? You don't have time to really think about your emotions, because what you're gonna eat in the evening, what is your children gonna eat in the evening, right? So because of that, they grow up with that mindset of not addressing certain things. And many times, and I'm not saying all of the African parents are innocent, but many times, a lot of them just don't know, right? That's something that I noticed growing up, that our parents, whether it be our mothers or fathers, they can be very depressed without even knowing that they're depressed, right? I would say that growing up, listening to my mother and other people, parents, listen to them carefully because of what I know now and what I can see now. It's like, you are very traumatized, right? With how your father, your mother treated you, or what you went through, and how, you was treated this way and your siblings were treated that way. So because of that, when it comes to us, right, when it comes to us, their children, they approach certain things harshly, aggressively, and many times we have, lashed out on them. We have, and I'm guilty of this too, we have judged them, right, or something that, they may have, some of them, right, have no idea that they were doing. So now that leads to their misunderstanding, right? For now, a lot of our parents, like my mom was born in 1957, right? So no, that's a long time ago. A lot of our parents are older. My mom, she's in her 60s. A lot of people, moms are the same age too, or closer, or even older, right? So times are different, right? Like I said, they handle things way differently, right? In terms of just not dealing with things that has happened to them, in terms of just taking whatever from anybody, right? So now, when they do something, when they say something, and we feel the same way about it, right? We feel the need to say this, or we feel the need to rebel or do this, and it becomes this misunderstanding, and they feel like you are being a disobedient child and not listening to them, and they're hurt because to them, they are working so hard to take care of you, but to you, my mom, my father is not even listening to me, this and this and that, and then it becomes this whole tension in the house, right? And that also leads to not showing love coming from our African parents. Those of you who have African parents, you know that it's weird if your mom and father is to ever say, I love you, son, or I love you, daughter, right? Even like when my mom say that to me sometimes, I'm like, okay, stop. What do you want? You're being weird. Because the thing is that, and a lot of them never express that verbal love to us. So we feel like they don't love us. They will express that love to us, especially our fathers, by doing overtime, doubles and triples, doing this crazy hours to make sure that we have a home, to make sure that our school fees are taken care of, etc., etc. Right? So because of that, right, we feel like, oh, well, daddy never hugged me. Daddy never do this. Daddy never do this and take me here and say this to me and do this to me and hug me. Mommy also don't do this and that. But it's like growing up, they didn't get that. Their parents didn't tell them I love you. Their parents didn't say, "You're good job, you're going to be great in the future." Their parents didn't hug them, right? Their parents didn't do all of that. It was always school, work, if they was going to school. But work, beatings, work, and beatings, and work, and beatings. Right? So now they grow up, all in their head is, grow up, get a husband or wife, marry, have kids, work, and beatings in church. Right? And that has been created this thing in a lot of African households where, it's becoming a problem, where their children are misunderstood, their parents are misunderstood, they're not hearing each other, always bumping heads, and it's something that, it's not helping. So, with that being said, we should try to understand our parents, right? Just try to understand them. Let's give them some grace, right? And know that how can they show something that they never had, right? How can you love something that you never had, right? In the perspective of, if you never had a father, how can you, even, like for me, I never had a father, so how can I know how it feels when my bro be like, yo, I'm with my father right now. I love my father. I don't know that. I don't know how that feels like, right? So, vice versa with them, how can they show something or feel something that they never had? They love you, but they just show it and putting a roof over your head, right? Religion. Let's talk about that. Praise God. Shout out to God. Shout out to Jesus. A lot of African households feel like because they have God, because they have Christ, if something happened, don't go get physical health. But a lot of them fail to understand that, yes, God is there and He is there to help you with every aspect of your life, right? Especially spiritual aspect of your life. He can also help you mentally and physically too. But when it comes to mentally and physically, He worked through men, right? So if you're bleeding, you got a gunshot wound, God forbid, or you're bleeding, something is cut open and you have to get an operation, God is with you, right? But he has given the knowledge and wisdom to man, right, to help you. But a lot of our parents in the African community, they're going through all this mental distress and emotional distress, and then they feel like, I'm gonna just pray and I'm gonna just, leave it to God and that's it. And it's still messing with them. Yes, God is going to help you, but you need to go get outside help too, right? Don't suffer a headache and say that God is not going to help you and there's something here for you to take for that headache, and you don't take it, right? Just like I remember when I was in therapy, when I didn't even know I had to go to therapy, and I went with the push by one of my brothers, and I went, and while I was going, I was praying too. While I was going, I was praying too, and at the end of the day, I came out good. Came out way better than I went in. So that's something that we should think about too. And last and foremost, men being stubborn. A lot of African men being stubborn in our household when it comes to even getting help, right? Because they have grown up in a generation where they watch their father suffer to go get it, so they feel like they gotta suffer to get it. But don't get it twisted though. It's very important to fight for what you want, to go get it, right? To have long suffering, to be disciplined. But even stuff with just going to the hospital or getting help, a lot of men are so proud to ask for that. I can say sometimes I'm guilty of that too, right? But that's something that I think we should think about and try to fix in an African household. Mental illness, I've seen it. That has been it's a big problem in our families, and we don't even know what therapy is, right? A lot of our parents don't even know what therapy is, right? You bring therapy to them, they're going like, what? I gotta go to work. I got a double tomorrow. I gotta go sleep, right? But not taking care of themselves, and they go to the doctor for a checkup one day and their blood pressure is out of space, right? So that's something we should think about and work on. Like I said, today's video was just something very brief, something very simple, but also very powerful. Again, appreciate all of you guys who tuned in and watched. Don't forget to follow my IG at Evans Acosta for real. I'll put it down in the description below. And God bless you. We'll talk soon.